May God be with you all.
Hello.
What's happening?
How you guys doing?
Yeah, but it sounds like him.
Sounds like who?
Jim Terry.
Now that's him. That's the guy. Listen, I'm enjoying the program, listening to you guys talk. I'm dying to know where this chick's from, though. She's talking about bears and wolves and all kinds. You live in Idaho?
No, sir, and I wouldn't tell you no way.
No, we all have ways of finding out, but you must live in a place. You're definitely not in Brooklyn. I know that much.
No.
What, you got the overlay? Are you guys usually get people showing their penis and stuff? Is that what
you never know. And to be honest with you, man, you're really popular in this community. So I thought, okay, well.
Wait a minute, whoa. You know who I am?
Oh, yeah, I know you are.
No, you do not know who I am.
Well, I know you are from a couple things. See, before the whole true crime and the PI thing, I actually, it's going to sound like fanboy. I was a big Storage Wars guy, so I knew you were from Storage Wars.
Oh, yeah, you knew I was on Storage Wars.
Yeah, but I also knew about the arena football thing, too. So.
Okay, well, here, look, I'm going to change my aviator right there. Bang, there's me on Storage Wars.
That dude is like the coolest. Is that fucking like 49 Cadillac? Dude, that car is so fucking dope.
You know what? I mean, you don't have to. I'm not going to born bomb you guys over here. Where do you know me from? What show? Doug Hutton or one of those programs?
No, I knew you. Well, as far as like YouTube and true crime,
I hate true crime.
Dylan Rounds. It was the Dylan Rounds thing.
Right? Yeah, I worked as the private investigator on that case, and you know what's interesting is there was 5 million videos on Dylan Rounds and interviews with me for 2.5 fucking years, and all the information comes out about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, about the Dylan Rounds case, all the private stuff, all the photos, everything. And everything that I said about that case was in those things, was 100% vindicated. You know, I was the first one that said that when I started looking into the case, when the family hired me, that he had a boyfriend. He was gay. And they blew a gasket. And the family said, no, he wasn't. Well, the mom admitted in all the paperwork that he had a boyfriend before he ever went out to that desert. If you know the case. If you don't know the case, I don't want to keep people on it. But, and they won't talk about it. Nobody will cover that. You know what I mean? And I've got the paperwork, and the mother was interviewed with a detective. I mean, 99.9% of all the stuff I said that I got hate for in that community, and I'm not part of the true crime community, turned out to be vindicated. And boy, you won't see anybody cover that shit now. It's like it never happened.
Well, I knew more of the beefs, actually. I found you from that because, see, I don't even know how the fuck I got over there. One night, this is before
Get over where, though? Because I was only on YouTube for about 11 months. I was on other people's shows, but I'm not a YouTuber. I have my own channel. I have my own Roku channel now. I'm on the OTT. So
okay, I didn't know that. But I knew this was basically before you were actually even doing your own channel. What the fuck is that guy? What's his name, Doug? What the hell was his name? I think it was
Doug Hutton was his name. I used to go on his show. He was an ex-pro wrestler at a low level, and he was a true crime guy. And yeah, he used to have me come on because I did cases for years before Dylan Rounds. I still work private investigating cases. I'm still a PI.
Okay, I didn't know that either. I didn't know what happened to you. Huh?
Coyotes are back.
Yeah, and burden of proof. How about getting the Dylan Rounds case wrong and accusing innocent people? Like who? See, unfortunately, this is what happens. These people still haven't gotten over the fact that I was right about this thing. And let's not forget, I was not hired to find Dylan Rounds. I was hired to look into his lifestyle. The first 11 days when somebody goes missing, there's 3 things that always come into a missing persons case, right? One of them is sexuality. You need to know if he was dating a boy or a girl, if he was dating a man or a woman. You need to know who he might be with.
I remember this is where the boat got rocked big time. People got way pissed off when you went this route.
Well, I mean, listen, I started interviewing people out there where he went missing, and I said, tell me something that's not in the papers. Tell me something that people don't know about. And they said, well, you should check with the guy he was in a relationship with. And I said, wait a minute, what guy? And 3 or 4 of those came up, and 3 or 4 of those interviews happened. And then I interviewed the guy, and I'm like, oh, shit, like there's something to this. And then I started interviewing more credible people out there, and they all had the same story. And then I went back to the family, and I said, listen, we got a fucking problem here. I says, you didn't tell me he was gay. And when I talked to him behind closed doors, it wasn't a big deal. But when I started,
do you feel there was enough to confirm it? I mean, do you feel that there was like, do you feel comfortable that he was gay, like in saying that?
Well, I mean, now 2.5 years later, when the mom was interviewed by the detectives, she admitted he was gay. So not only is it 100% vindicated, and listen, here's why that's, because the first thing people say now is, well, it didn't have to do anything with the case. The first 14 days, how do you know? How do you know? If you went missing right now and I don't know you from a hole in the wall, the first thing I'm going to ask your parents is, well, was he dating anybody? If they said he's never had a girlfriend, he's never been on a date, never went to homecoming, never talked to a girl, and then I started interviewing, like there was these 2 hookers if you want to get into it, we'll talk about it, but there was these 2 hookers at a truck stop, and I tracked them down, and they tried to fuck him for free, and he wouldn't do it. And I was like, okay, well, not everybody wants to be with a hooker, but, not a bad-looking kid. He's got money. He's 19 years old. He's got his own place. He's never even had a girlfriend. I always say this to people. If I couldn't prove he was gay, prove he's straight.
Damn, that's heavy, man. See, I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'll be the first to tell you that I think the true crime community is oversensitive about a lot of things, and I think that sometimes people don't want to hear it if it doesn't quite coincide. But I get it. I definitely get it. When I first came across you was because of some of the wars. Apparently, Burden of Proof knows you. I didn't know anything about that. I actually first came across you because of the Laura shit. And that's actually
Laura, I'm sorry, I don't know Burden of Proof. By the way, there's a guy in your chat named One Juror Matters. That said, I've played 24 years in 13 different indoor and arena football leagues, and I played last year for the Philadelphia Soul. I can only play where they pay me to go, my friend. If you're jealous of that, or if that offends you, One Juror Matters, listen, there's a lot of 242, been the same number for 15 years. I've never used an alt, never used a fake name. Almost 99.9% of the time come up on panel. I've also got an OTT, a website. I am not a hard guy to find, but you don't get a full scholarship. You don't pay your way through college, and you don't play at the pro level of one of 180 jobs in the whole world for 24 years and not get paid or be good enough to do it. So there's a lot of triggered people out there, my friend. But go ahead. I'll digress. Go ahead. Who? The Laura? Who's Laura?
Perplexed.
Perplexed QT. Yeah. Actually got her food stamp.
What? Are you fucking with? Or is that serious? Are you being serious?
So Perplexed QT's real name is Laura. That's the ex-hooker from Vegas.
I think she was in Vegas. I'm unaware of the hooker thing.
Yeah, I've got her arrest records and her mugshot. She was a sex worker in Vegas. She actually was a stripper. I sent my co-host to the place that she used to work at. And now it was years and years ago, and it was also confirmed because this is where it really gets weird. Her husband, her ex-husband, her children's father. She has 2 kids, a boy who's probably around.
Yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that part.
She has a son that's like a big fat pig, and he's, I think, a senior in high school. He's trying to be a football player who's garbage. He's playing like JV as a senior.
I gotta ask though, do you think that's like a good idea, really, though, with a kid, man? Like, I understand, like Laura, a lot of people fucking dislike her. I get it. Everybody has their opinion about that. But the kid?
Well, when the kid comes on the program and shit talks you, I mean, listen, I'm not saying anything that isn't true. He played varsity football he was a senior and he was playing junior varsity football. I mean, that's a fact. You could look at it in his yearbook. But so she started doing stuff to me, and what I did was I contacted her kid's father, and it turns out that her kid's father, both of her kids, she had a daughter that was much older. Her kid's father was Beetlejuice at Hollywood Studios. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He's the guy that acts as Beetlejuice when you go to Hollywood Studios. He actually came on my show as Beetlejuice, and he totally shit all over her. Well, he told me that she was getting food stamps. So she kept digging into my business, putting stuff out there about me that I was a pedophile. You know how YouTube goes to that true crime. He's a pedophile. He's a sex offender. They keep putting shit out there just because it makes people, buy more candles or T-shirts or whatever they're selling. So what we did was I found out, and I copied, and I have great people on my staff, but we found out how much money she was making selling candles, Cash Apps, PayPals, and I called the state of Alabama, and I had sent in some tapes to them of how much money she was making, super stickers and super chats, and they took her food stamps away. So that's a very true story. That's why she never fucked with us again.
Oh my God, dude. You got to know that's going to go over like a Cub Scout in a whorehouse, though, right?
Well, listen, she was doing 135 people. I was doing, 27,000 on YouTube. I was on YouTube for 11 months. And I'll tell you what, getting kicked off of YouTube was the best thing that ever happened to us, because I went and just did my own Roku channel. You talk about COVID. I could, you know how you can't say certain things on YouTube. I don't know what the rules are. I'm on YouTube now as much as I've ever been. I'm on a lot of different panels and a lot of different shows. Nothing really to do with true crime. I'll still talk about Dylan Rounds. I never talked about any true crime case. Like, I don't talk about JonBenet Ramsey or Kylie Rodney. It's none of my fucking business. If I wasn't paid to be in the case, what do I give a fuck about OJ? It has nothing to do with me. But yeah, so we decided to start fighting back, and we crushed these people. We got Doug Hutton, but when I was on YouTube for 11 months until the article came out with in the Rolling Stone. I was on the front page article of Rolling Stone magazine, which I didn't even know was still around anymore. We did interviews with them, and Rolling Stone sent in the article with the help of that parent, and that got me kicked off of YouTube. I was paused and banned, and then they probably about 3 months ago, said that we could come back. You're not totally permanently banned from YouTube. I didn't know that. But I got some people that work with me, and I won't keep you too long on this subject, and I opened up JimTerryTV.com, or if you go to your television right now, you can download my app. I have an OTT streaming platform just like Hulu or Netflix, and I could talk about anything. I could show nudity. I could do whatever the fuck I want, and it is incredible. We have over 700 paid members at $30 a month. It was the best thing that could have happened to me because I was just too blue for YouTube, and you got too many of these cranky pussies in the chat, not sending in a super sticker, not sending in a, coming over here watching the football game from the parking lot. Of course, everybody's a fucking expert, but you start peeling some of these people back. They all are the same story. Horrible family lives, kids all over the fucking place, smoking their e-cigarettes, government cheese, and they're all on pills and shit like that. So it is what it is.
You're not wrong about all of it. Okay, so I have to ask.
Sure.
All right, my chat apparently hates you, and I'm sure a lot of people in the true crime community do. Dude, I actually want to talk to you, but I want to do it like on a scheduled visitation.
Well, listen, I saw you were on. I was interested, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm sorry I don't know this panel. By the way, I can make one phone call right now on my robocall and have about, what do you got, 35 people watching you?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are way too entertaining if I found you to have 35 assholes listening to you and 26 of them don't like you. I can make one phone call with my robocall right now, and I could get 200 people over here in a heartbeat that would probably love your channel. The problem is when people get 35 to 45 people over here, they tend to let those people run the channel. Well, if you got Jim Terry on here, I'm not going to be here anymore. Fuck off. You ain't giving no super stickers or super chat. You ain't coming up on panel. Eat a dick. But listen, you got my name. You got my phone number. I'm going to give you my phone number.
In fairness, I'm unmonetized because I say way foul shit sometimes.
Well, listen, you can still be monetized and not – and so there's two types of monetization. You don't have to get YouTube monetization. That's 60 cents per show. You want the super stickers, super chats, cash apps. Any of these people sending you cash apps or PayPals?
Yeah, I do. I was doing a lot better. I was in here for like 4.5 hours. I've been here way too long.
Good.
I've just been sitting here mindlessly talking about bullshit. Air fryers and shit for the last 30 minutes. Fucking air fryers.
But listen, my telephone number is the same as you. Come on over to Jim Terry TV or wherever I'm at. And I got stories for you that you won't believe when it comes to some of these fucking people. We got her food stamps taken away. Do you remember a woman named Crime and Justice? She was Doug Hutton's assistant. She had no teeth.
I remember vaguely. What? Didn't you have a beef with Queen Bee?
Yeah, we crushed Queen Bee. We were the ones that doxed her publicly. We actually found out and disseminated it. And now we could do it on the OTT. We could do it on, we don't have to worry about it. First of all, doxing is not really a crime. Doxing, it's bullshit. There's only like one state where it's a crime. It's a YouTube crime, which doesn't mean dick. It's like, talking out of turn in elementary school. Like, it doesn't mean shit in the real world. So we found out, we pulled the police reports of her when she sold crack to undercover police officers.
Hey, don't get me sued now. Hold up. Let me stop. Don't get me fucking sued. Apparently, there's a lot of lawsuits going around. Since
there's a lot of lawsuits because those people don't have anything. They're on government assistance. And listen, you're not saying it. I am. We have the paperwork. It's 100% true. And I wouldn't say it if it wasn't. I've got the police reports where she, Queen Bee, was arrested for selling crack to an undercover cop in a Walmart.
That's allegedly as fuck.
No. I have the police reports, and on our show, we actually talked to the police officer that arrested her. Not only that, but we also talked to the state or the county that she's in, which is in Illinois. Everybody knows that, and they told us that her driver's license has been suspended because she's got over $1,500 in fines. That's on our show. That's documented. We called the police department, the records department. They told us we don't just say shit unless we have facts to prove it, which is what crushes these people. Perplex QT, we got her food stamps taken away. We crushed Queen Bee. She don't want to fuck with me. Trust me. Especially now that we're not on YouTube. The other one too was Crime and Justice. She was trying to dox my social security number, so we called and let them know. And she got, they put my social security number on the internet through an attorney in New Mexico. But what we did, that's true doxing. But what we did, because that's illegal, so we got one guy arrested for that, and then I got her thrown out of HUD housing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and this stuff's been going on for 3 years. And listen, we've done a lot of great things too. I don't want to make it all negative, but there's just people that are this. Where'd your friend go that was feeding potato chips to wolves? She's probably like, what the fuck?
I think she wasn't feeling it. I don't think.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, there's a lot of woke triggered motherfuckers out there. That's okay. Half these people in your chat right now.
She's not the woke. We love her. She's wonderful. I love her. She's
Yep. In the chat, there is a woman named it's Doug, and I'll let you go with this. Doug Hutton had an assistant. Her name is Crime and Justice, and she was in HUD housing. And we contacted the people that oversaw her HUD housing. We actually got her kicked off within 3 days on air. This is all documented. This isn't just me telling you that. She was live getting cash chaps and super stickers and PayPals, and we called her HUD housing counselor, and they were watching her show in real time, watching her get fucking money, and they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You know what I mean? And so, yeah, she lost her HUD housing. She even talked about it on her show. So you fuck with the bull, you get the horns. But we're good people. We've got a lot of followers. I like what you're doing over here. This is a great little channel you got, But what you'll find out is, and I'll leave you with this, on January 20th, half these people that got a problem with me in your chat will probably either be running or hiding because Trump's going to throw them all over the wall anyway. We'll talk later.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. You know how to make an interest, Jim Terry. I will give you that. Never actually spoke to the guy. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people hated it, but wow. that was there's obviously way more to a lot of that shit than I knew. I don't know shit about HUD housing. I do remember the assistant vaguely. I really just wanted to get to the war of. I forgot about calling fucking Laura's kid school though. That I don't like. I don't know about the kid aspect. But here's the thing I will say, and nobody gonna like this either. But I've been around this community long enough to say one thing, that everything. How do I say this nicely? Actually, I don't guess I really have to at this point. Why y'all think I talk so much shit about these people though? Like, I ain't by saying anything you just heard was accurate at all. I don't fucking know. Could not tell you. I mean, a lot of people in the chat seem to agree with some of it, or parts of different. I couldn't tell you. I have not a fucking clue. I could not tell you. So on my end, I'm gonna have to say allegedly because I do not fucking know. I just knew of the beefs and the drama. I knew that in the beginning, he was like a huge pivotal point. All things talking points of Dylan Rounds went through Jim Tier in the beginning. I remember that. And everybody wanted him on. Tyler Feller wanted him on. He practically had a residency set up at Doug's for the time being. Why can I never think of the name of that fucking channel? Anyway, something... Shit, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, he was kind of the point guard on all things to do with that case. And to be honest with you, that case was probably my most intriguing case in all of True Crime. I thought that case was something about it was so just odd, but it made sense. Because the things that we did know was a young man on his own out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. I mean, real bumfuck nowhere. I mean, like where Twister was filmed. I mean, fucking nowhere. And a place that the nearest cop was damn near an hour away. A place that where if you got bit by a snake, you're probably going to die today. Not really a place you expect to find an 18-year-old kid. And anybody else you find there, they're probably trying to get away from something too. It was just a weird scenario. It was a weird story. Everything about it was just strange. From boot placement to... just the whole thing was just weird. So, anyway, that's where I was first turned onto him being on the platform. Once I saw who he was, I was like, I knew him from somewhere. Then somebody mentioned Storage Wars, and that's exactly where I knew him from. And then, obviously, I didn't know his name. But so, from that point, I remember Laura had him on a couple of times. Fucking Tyler had him on a bunch. And everybody was cool with him for like the first, I don't know, couple of months. And then all of a sudden, I remember everybody had an issue with the guy. And to this day, I figured, fuck it, while we're putting everybody's shit out there, I at least want to make sure this is exactly indeed what it is. Because to this day, I will say Queen cannot like you,